Saturday, so you know what that means. Time to recap the news from the week and stick around for a while. I'm gonna give you the top 5 tips you need to know to get into cosplaying. This is the Twee'quel Podcast. What's up, everybody? I'm Jake Alexander, the voice in the void, the lone wolf, your favorite host with the list. Welcome back to the Twee'quel Podcast. I hope you've been rocking with us for a while, and if you have, thank you very much. But if this is your first time, got plenty of episodes of you to check out, and I'm pretty sure you'll find something that'll keep you entertained and informed and make you keep coming back time and time again. Hey, we got a little bit of news, and we're going to talk about what you need to do to get into cosplay. But without further ado, let's get active and get right into it. First up on the news, we say rest in peace to not only Quincy Jones, but also Tony Todd. Now, Quincy Jones passed back on the 3rd. Now, he is a 7-decade career-long Grammy-winning producer, everything when it comes to music. He has scored movies, he has done videos and directed them, he has produced films and music videos and other songs and albums for the likes of Prince and Michael Jackson and so many others along the way. The man has, like I said, a 7-decade long career. He has won 28 Grammys, a Primetime Emmy, a Tony Award, which is for stage acting and production, and 4 Golden Globes. He is by far, in my opinion, the standard of what it means to be a producer. I don't think anybody comes close to that man's catalog. And Tony Todd just passed last night. Before we, after I had already produced this show, we went back and redid the entire thing just to make sure we honor that man's legacy. He's best known for, I'm pretty sure everybody knows, for Candyman, but he was also in movies like Platoon, Final Destination, and The Crow. He is, I wouldn't say the top, but he's up there when it comes to Scream Kings. I know we talk about Scream Queens and the women in horror movies, but he is the man who scared an entire generation with just one movie. It is so sad to see both of them go. Quincy Jones was 91 and Tony Todd was only 69 years old. Now, please stick around after the end of the entire program. We are going to do an in memoriam section for not only Quincy Jones and Tony Todd, but for all of the passings that we missed while we were off through October. And it was quite a few. So just stick around and make sure you check that out. I promise I won't make it very long, and I'll try not to make it too sad. At the box office, Venom: The Last Dance is now at $325 million, holding on to the one spot for the last couple of weeks. The Bad Robot debuted, $272 million now worldwide, and Smile 2 is holding the 3rd slot down at $113 million worldwide. It's already November, so pretty much whatever movies have made this year, they're going to make. And any new movie is not going to catch the top 2 movies that we've had this year, with Inside Out at $1.69 billion and Deadpool Wolverine coming so close to getting that spot at $1.33 billion. Those are going to be your top 2 movies for the year. Nothing's going to catch them. Like I said, it's November already. Those are the 2 that's running away. It was a pretty good year at the box office. Made a lot of money with a lot of movies, and honestly, the quality of movies was up, in my opinion, over the course of the year. But we'll see what happens at the end of the year with those final numbers, and we'll talk about that in December. So Blade finally got canceled, in the MCU. Well, no, not really. So while we were off, there was a report that Blade had been pulled from the release schedule for 2025. But most people and most reporting outlets have decided that, well, that's the death knell. The movie is not going to happen now. Why would they pull it? Now, I talked about this back in June, where I said the one movie that was going to worry me to no end would be Blade, because there were so many director changes and writer changes and actors going in and out, with Delroy Lindo just leaving about a month or so ago. I worried that this film would never happen, and and I kind of felt like Marvel was going to do as many shenanigans as they could behind the scenes to delay this movie until they had Mahershala Ali just kind of quit. But other information that I found out since it has been pulled from the release schedule for 2025, it points to the movie not actually being dead. So in a report from Variety, that was the first group to say that the movie had been pulled. They only said that it was ever being pulled from the release schedule. But later on in that exact same story, which I want to say pretty much every other reporting platform kind of overlooked, was they said that it was absolutely being pushed to a later time to be released. In fact, it's being moved from phase 5, the end of phase 5, which would have been 2026 actually, and it's being pushed into sometime in the beginning of phase 6. So we're looking at 2026 still, but maybe later in the year, and maybe even the beginning of 2027. But the movie is still happening. As a matter of fact, Mahershala Ali came out and said right after that Variety report that, hey, the movie's still coming out. What's happening is that they're rewriting the script, and they were already rewriting it from earlier this year from switching writers. So obviously, if they're still writing the script, it wasn't going to release in 2025. But Mahershala Ali also said that it's moving toward a darker, grittier, more rated R type of film to fit into the MCU going forward. And I think that is because Wolverine and Deadpool was so successful as a rated R film. And honestly, that's what Blade needs to be. It needs to be rated R. It needs to be dark. It needs to be bloody. It needs to be violent. So the fact that it was pulled from the 2025 release schedule and pushed back so they can retool the script and shoot it and edit it, this is a good thing. So no, not by a long shot, Blade is not dead. It may be a little time before we actually get it, before we thought we were going to get it, but in my opinion, if they're going to retool this and turn it into a darker, grittier, rated R film, more power to you. I'll wait around to see it. In anime news, we have a lot of things returning and a lot of things brand new coming out. So if you remember the OG anime Ninja Scroll, that was from when I was a teenager. Fantastic film. It is going to start streaming on High Dive starting November 12th. If you've never seen it, give yourself a chance to go watch it. It is one of the best anime ever. I particularly love the old school 90s animation because I thought it felt more alive. And trust me, when you watch Ninja Scroll, I guarantee you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. So remember, November 12th, it starts streaming on High Dive. Give yourself a chance to watch it. I'm pretty sure you'll love it. Another hit anime over on Netflix, Beastars, is going to get its final season 3. That's going to start December 5th. A lot of people didn't like it. They thought it was a little too close to the furry culture, but I find it very endearing. I mean, if you watch Zootopia and you like that, I'm pretty sure you'll watch Beastars and like it as well. I think it is a really good anime, but like I said, way too many people think it's kind of too close to the furry culture, but I don't see it that way. There's a new trailer out for it that features the ending theme that you can go on YouTube and find right now. And like I said, this final season, it's going to be split into 2 cores, which means it's going to be split into 2 parts. So when it starts out, you're going to get a few episodes. There'll be a break, then you'll get the other half of it. So when that starts, I'm going to watch both halves and we'll talk about it later. I love Beastars. I think it's a very good anime. Also, anime news coming soon in 2025 is going to be another anime called Hotel Inhumans. This is all about a hotel for assassins. Sound familiar? Sound real John Wickish, doesn't it? I want to see this. The manga itself is very popular outside of the States, but I want to read the manga first, and then I'm going to go watch the anime. So we'll talk about that after we get around to it. Arcane Season 2 starts today, November 8th. November 9th. It starts today. It's going to be on Netflix. And now that they're reporting that it's starting season 1 and season 2 together, it's $250 million. So why is that important? Because that makes it the most expensive anime series ever made. I didn't make up the numbers, folks. $250 million. But honestly, considering how good that first season was and how good I think the second season is going to be, well worth the money. It is a fantastic damn anime. Go Loser Ranger. If you've never seen it, think about the Power Rangers with a dark twist. It is a really good anime. It's really funny, but it's action packed. I'm pretty sure you'll like it if you haven't watched it. We talked about that first season, and now we're going to get season 2. It's going to drop in April of next year, 2025. So when that comes out, we will be talking about that for sure. And we're going to end our anime section by saying happy birthday to Masashi Kishimoto. If you don't know the name, that is the man who created Naruto. Today, his birthday was back on the 8th, which was yesterday, and he turned 50 years old. It's really good to honor him, considering how many people in the anime community that we've lost over just the last year, especially with Toriyama Sensei now being gone. So that's all our anime news, and make sure you absolutely go watch Ninja Scroll on High Dive. We're going to end our news today talking about all of the trailers that we've gotten over the past couple of days. We got the final trailer for Red 1, which is going to star The Rock and Chris Evans and J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus, with Chris Evans and The Rock playing agents out to save Santa Claus after he was kidnapped and save Christmas. It sounds a completely ridiculous concept, but hey, it's a Christmas movie. It's supposed to be a ridiculous concept. And anything with J.K. Simmons in it, Detroit's own, I'm going to go see it. Plus, you're adding on The Rock and Chris Evans in it as well. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a really good movie. Yeah, anything with The Rock in it seems to just be, it seems to make money, except for Black Adam, but we're not going to talk about that one. We also got a trailer for Absolution. It's going to star Liam Neeson, and what else could the movie be about? Old man, still a badass. It's a Liam Neeson film. That's all we kind of need, right? We also got a trailer for Elevation that's going to star Anthony Mackie and Morena Baccarin. Now, this is a post-apocalyptic search for survivors, and they are going to go out and try to find as many people as they can and help as many as they can as they have to fight across this post-apocalyptic landscape and fighting off these worm-like monsters. It sounds ridiculous, but we get like 1 or 2, maybe 3 of the types of these movies every year, especially since Quiet Place blew up back a few years ago. And I'm all for it. Any type of movie like that, it's all good. And honestly, I think this is going to be the movie that kind of pushes Anthony Mackie back into the limelight. So whatever happens with Captain America when that film comes out, it doesn't matter. He'll have this film to fall back on and say, hey, he's still a draw. Let's get him out here. And there's always a movie like that leading up to really big production pictures. So I think this is going to be the one for him. We also got a trailer for Heretic, which is starring Hugh Grant. I love horror films. I don't care what time of the year you get them, and we've had some really good horror films this year. We're going to talk about Nosferatu later after I go see it, but this one looks to be more psychological, but it's still a horror film, and it stars Hugh Grant as a really weird guy who kidnaps 2 female missionaries when they come to his door to talk about Jesus Christ. And it's just basically him being creepy and being weird but murderous at the same time. That's kind of what I got from the trailer, and that's all I need. And it looks fantastic. I can't wait to see the movie. I think it's going to be really good. That's all of our news. Don't forget to check the Instagram page for trailers and other random stuff that I do. And make sure that you're subscribed to this channel, because it's a lot more stuff than us just talking about news and movie reviews. Because later on today, or maybe it's already up and you haven't watched it yet, or maybe you've seen it already, but there's going to be a video of me actually building another cosplay. And I'm going to be wearing that actually to Motor City Comic Con today. So make sure you go watch that video. I'm going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to give you the 5 biggest tips I think you need to start cosplaying on your own. You know, I remember vividly the first time I ever tried to cosplay. It actually went pretty well. I know a lot of people can't say that for their very first time, but to me, I thought it went pretty well. I dressed up as Kakashi for a Halloween party, and my wife, who was then only my girlfriend, decided she would dress up as a Kunoichi. I told her she was Sakura, but I didn't want her to be that because that would seem kind of weird, but whatever. She dressed up right along with me, and we had a ball. And ever since then, I have been trying to really dip my toe into cosplaying more and more here and there. And over the last year, I've really gotten more into it. Even earlier this year, you have the video of me cosplaying as Bishop and me building it right out of my closet and showing people that, hey, you don't need fancy costumes and a whole lot of money just to cosplay. You can do it with stuff right out of your closet. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but I like to show people that. But one thing I know that I didn't have that I want to give to you were tips to get you started. Tips that would help you along your way and to build up your own self-esteem, not your credibility, toward cosplaying and joining the bigger cosplay community out there in the world. So here now is the top 5 tips I think you need to start your own cosplay journey. So tip number 1. Before you do anything about trying to build a costume or learning how to sew or anything like that, convince yourself and always remember that you're doing this for fun. Oh, sure, you can dress up as any type of character that you want to and enter any competition you want to. But you have to remind yourself, and to always remind yourself, that you're doing this for fun. Because if you're not doing it for fun, after one attempt, you're likely to say, well, I don't want to do it anymore. And that's kind of sad. If you remind yourself that you're doing it for fun, then it doesn't matter how something turns out. You're building something with your own hands. You're doing something just because you enjoy the thrill of doing it. So remind yourself that just to do it for fun. And please, please, no matter where you're at in your cosplay journey, don't compare yourself to anybody else. You are singularly unique. Stick to your own program. And like I said, do it for fun. Tip number 2, after you reminded yourself that you're only doing this for fun, Find characters that you're passionate about. Now, look, there are a ton of really cool characters where if you pull it off, people will be amazed and, surprised and awe, and they will give you so many type of compliments left and right. That's all well and good. But if you don't love the character, you're only liable to build a piece of the costume and then stop, and then more than likely switch off to somebody that you actually love in the first place. So do yourself a favor. Before you start anything in your cosplay journey, after you reminded yourself that you're doing this for fun, get a sheet of paper, grab a notebook, and write down all the characters that you are just completely enthralled with. I don't care where they come from, whether it's from video games, anime, hell, you can cosplay movie characters. I mean, hell, I've done it a couple of times already. Put those characters on the list. Remind yourself, these are the ones that I really want to do more than anything else. And I promise you, if you stick to those particular characters, you will always start, you will always finish, and you will always love the work that you did. Okay, tip number 3. Remember to start small. Do not, and I repeat, do not try to find the most intricate detail needed cosplay and start off with that. Do something small. Start off with trying to make a weapon or a hat or a gauntlet or something like that, right? In my case, I always say start off with closet cosplay. You're basically just ripping clothes out of your own closet, piecing them together, and using that to build upon them into a specific character. That's always, in my opinion, the best way to start off. Just learn how to do things first before you jump into it. So like I said, start small. Even weapons can be very intricate and need a lot of work. So like I said, do something small, and I guarantee you by the time you get done with that, you'll look at it and say, hey, I did this. That means I can do anything. Tip number 4 is the tip that I had to teach myself and learn the hard way. Be okay with failing. Now, look, there are tons of times when you're going to start something and it is just not going to come out the way you want it, and you're just not going to like it. And you're not going to want to show it to anybody until you feel like it's worthy to be seen. Be okay with failing. It's all right to do something and it not come out the way you want and to start all over. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Believe me, I have agonized so many times over pieces of a cosplay, and then I have just put them down and have never gone back to them because I wasn't okay with failing. I'd let being a perfectionist ruin my love of doing this. Don't do that to yourself. It's okay to fail. It's okay to mess something up. And honestly, even if you do mess up, I'm pretty sure there's going to be somebody out there that looks at it and be in awe and think you're the greatest cosplayer ever. So if you fail at something, don't worry about it. And if you feel like doing it over, do it. Just don't quit. And tip number 5. Now, this one could actually be tip number 1, and that is for you to cultivate a community and search for support. Look, no person is an island. We all need help from time to time. Nobody knows everything, and definitely nobody starts off knowing everything. If you need some help, don't be afraid to look on YouTube and check a video. Reach out to that creator, or maybe even look in your own town. I guarantee you there's going to be somebody who does something that you don't know how to do, and they can either show you for free or you can actually pay them to have them make it for you. There's nothing wrong with that. Cosplay does not have to be you doing every single thing. That's not how it works. Look for help. Ask for help, and I guarantee you over time you will be looking at people and saying, hey, I'm going to work with you from now on, and they could lead you to other people who could do other things for you. I mean, hell, I needed a photographer. I didn't know one. I reached out to a friend of mine who actually does photography. He doesn't do photography for cosplays, but he actually knew somebody who did. And now I have a photographer. Why? Because I have a community of people behind me. They may not do exactly what I need them to do, but more than likely they'll know somebody who can do what you need. Cultivate that community. Search for help, and it's all right to ask for help. And I promise you, from time to time, somebody's going to reach out to you for the exact same help that you reached out for in the first place. So that's my list. Top 5 things you need to do, in my opinion, to start off your cosplay journey. But if you think you know some tips that everybody else might need, drop them in the comments. Let's help each other out. I'm going to take a break. When we come back, it's time for the last call. So that's it, and that's all. It's time for the last call. I want to thank each and every single one of you for checking out this episode. You could have been doing anything else, but you decided to tune into this pokey little podcast, and I truly, truly appreciate it. I don't care if it's 1, 5, 10, 100, or 1,000 of you. Every single person that watches this podcast is a friend to me, and I thank you all very, very much. Hey, we got a weekend watch list. We have not had one in quite a while, and we actually have a really good one. So for our film and our nostalgia pick, we're going back to 1996 to a film called The Rock. It starred Nicolas Cage. It has Sean Connery. It has Ed Harris. A lot of good actors in it. A lot of good action. Really good storytelling. It's a fun film. A little trivia about it. The person that Sean Connery is playing is actually based on his role as James Bond. You'll see what I mean when you watch the film. Also coming in for our animation pick, Arcane Season 2. Talked about it earlier in the news. It starts today, and I cannot wait to actually watch it. Arcane Season 1, and in my opinion, that might be the best video game adaptation we've ever seen. I know that's big talk considering you got Castlevania out there, but Arcane is really that good. So we getting the season 2 starting today. I'm all for it. And our series pick, animation, right around with it. It's called Failure Frame. Now I've never seen this. It has been recommended to me for quite a while now, so I am going to finally sit down and run through it. It's not very long, so actually we will talk about it next week because I have a feeling I'm going to like this a hell of a lot more than I already do. So that's it for our episode today. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with me. And we're going to end this episode real quick with the exact same way we end every episode. God bless. I love you, and peace. See you next time. Hey there. I didn't say it in the episode because I wanted to leave it for its own place. If you are feeling alone and you absolutely need somebody to talk to, if you feel the darkness is closing in and you just feel like there is nowhere for you to turn, pick up the phone, dial or text 988. You are never alone. There's always somebody there, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Believe me, I've used it. It helps. And if you need the help is there.